What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another solo leveling and rise video. All right, guys, we got ourselves a 300-day solo leveling and rise check-in gift event that's coming up, and it is the biggest event that's happened so far in quite some time, to be honest with you, because it's going to give us two of the most, I'd say, important probably selectors we've had in a very, very long time. The rewards that numerous hunters were logging in for are going to be legendary blessing stone selection chest and legendary skill rune selection chest. Now, before I go any further, I will be covering again and reminding you guys which ones you should be choosing, the best options for your account, giving you different scenarios and what you should be going for based on what you already have. Okay, so we're going to cover that real quick, but first, when you log in today, this will begin with the legendary blessing stone selection chest. Again, we will cover that very shortly. Day 2 is going to give you advanced mana crystals. Day 3 is going to give you melding cube selection chest. Day 4 is going to give you abyssal crystal. Day 5 is precision design. Day 6, weapon enhancement gear 3 times 15. Level 7 or no, number 7 is going to give you special design times 2. Now, I think these are the purple ones. I could be wrong. Day 8, we're going to get the rune selection chest. Thank goodness I finally get magnifying slashes. Legendary, that'll be a big one. Day 9, gold. Day 10, some skill scroll for the player. Day 11, mana power extract. Day 12, advanced mana crystals. Day 13, skill scrolls. Day 14, your profile pick for the celebration cake. Day 15, abyssal fragments. Day 16, trace of shadows. Abyssal energy on 17, 1000 shadow energy on 18, that's a big one, 19 advanced mana crystals, 20 abyssal essences, and 21 the profile 300th days of memories are all going to be dropping. Now, before I go on with the video on terms of what to choose, remember guys, go click that support button. We've got 6 codes now out, plus anyone who's spending, we have a 30% coupon for you to spend in 7 days to get yourself a big discount on anything in the shop. So make sure guys, you click that support button. Codes are being sent out daily. It's 2 hours now a day for me to do this. It's a big commitment for me, but I'm happy to send it to my supporters. I want to say a big shout out to my top 10 all the way over to the top 6,758. Now, without further ado guys, let's get into the actual video in terms of what you should be choosing for the legendary selectors on both the blessing stones and the rune fragments? No, the rune skills. All right, guys, I'll be right back. See ya. Depending where you are in your account, some of these are going to matter a lot more than the others, but there are definitely metas that you want to go for. So let's go to the codex. We're going to go to blessing stones first, and then we'll do the rune fragments or the runes afterwards. Okay. So blessing stones, the best possible blessings you can currently get. There are 3 to 4, I'd say, really top tier ones that you really want to focus on. Okay. Now, when we're talking about the most meta versions of these, let's break them down. Number 1, reawakening. Okay, so reawakening is going to give you guys all your skill cooldown decreased by 20%. This is probably the most popular one for new players, returning players, and some newer mid-range players, okay? Next in line of that would be Bloodlust. So those two are probably going to be the 2 biggest ones because with Bloodlust, it does stack with defense down, and it, of course, reduces the target's defense by 12% for 6 seconds. As long as you're hitting the opponent, it'll constantly stay up. It never goes down. So those 2 are probably the most popular one. Whichever one you want to go for between the 2 of these is up to you. Reawakening being a little bit more popular. Bloodlust, you can kind of manage it with the heroic version, okay? So Reawakening is the bigger difference for sure between the 2 of them. Now, when it comes down to the third one, Pulverize is a big one as well too, and this one is of course going to give you better break effects on the enemies who have break bars for 30%, and then when they are in the break state, you'll do 30% more damage. Now this is obviously going to be big for Deimos and any boss that has a break bar, but if the opponent doesn't have a break bar, this really doesn't matter really that much, right? So this will matter for a couple things. POD, of course, because the dragon breaks every time his head goes down, and any boss or any enemy with a break bar. Anyone who doesn't have a break bar, this one doesn't play as big of a role, but that's number 3 for sure. And then number 4, which is the most new, I'd say, one, is going to be Intuit. And this, I think, is a little bit more advanced. This allows you to put points into intelligence in order to boost your attack, and allows you also to have a cooldown reduction as well. Now, this one is more advanced, and I mean this when I say this. If you're a new player, I probably wouldn't go for this. Reawakening will make a big enough difference for you. I would go with that because there's no messing around with your stats. This one here is going to definitely be for players who are looking to boost their account and are already pretty high up in the game. So I would say this is the more advanced version of them. Now, a couple honorary mentions if you are looking for them. Sharp Perception, if you are lacking crit, is fantastic. If you already have the Demon Slayer right over here, where is that one? Let me just find it real quick. Where are you, Demon Slayer? There it is. If you already have the no, not Tenacity. That's Tenacity. Sorry guys, where's Demon Slayer? I have it. I know I have it. There it is. If you have the Demon Slayer one already, and you're using it based off of like outstanding abilities and using it with like the Guild Spear and stuff, another really good one, of course, with this one is going to be Mana Rampage, right, which increases your attack by 16%, but also increases your skill consumption by 12%. That'll counteract it a little bit, but I'd say don't go further than those. Those are probably your best choices for Blessing Stones. Now, let's talk about runes. Now, runes are a whole different story, okay? This is simply going to be based on what you have and don't have. Now, the most popular one out of anything here is Magnifying Slashes, okay? And this continues to be the most popular one because it's, number one, it's one of the hardest ones to get. Majority of players don't have it. And number two, it's still the strongest skill in the game. Now, I don't know if they're going to... Now, keep in mind, all of this advice is pending. They don't bring out anything brand new, right? So I'm going to increase my screen a bit. If they bring out something brand new, all this could change, right? But for now, as it stands today, this is the most popular one, and everybody and anybody should be going for this if you are looking for the best skill in the game in terms of damage. Second to this one is going to actually be Double Down, and this is going to be more important for the upcoming Deimos hard mode, plus the one that's already existing. And this Double Down, of course, is a light version of Magnifying Slashes with a little bit less damage. By a little bit, I mean quite a bit less damage. But nonetheless, this would be your second option, in my opinion, as if you are going to be tackling Deimos. Now, another one that's really popular, of course, is Dispersion. Dispersion is pretty much used everywhere for breaking. One of the best skills, especially if even the beauty of it, it can be used even with an opponent without a break bar. But it's a really, really popular one as well too. So very, very highly recommend that. Vacuum Wave is another huge one. So if you are going to be using Vacuum Wave and Armor Break, this is the most popular one because of the damage increase, the fact that it's easy to use, does almighty damage or does almighty break, plus also increases the damage of vertical art. So very, very popular. Vacuum Wave is a big one as well too. If you are looking to do any of the legendary vertical arts, Crosshairs is probably the most popular one, I'd say, at the moment in terms of that. And outside of those guys, I really don't know if I'd go for anything else. I think those are probably the most popular ones. When it comes down to the QTEs, I wouldn't also bother with those because they're really meant to be side effects, not more of like DPS. So I'd probably stick to those as your main ones, as your choices. So I would go Magnifying Slashes first, Double Down second, and then from there, I'd say Vacuum Wave third. There's probably, Electric Shock actually fourth, I'd say is also a really big one too. That's a really popular one. And then Crosshairs. Yeah, those are probably the best runes in my opinion for usage on most content that's coming out. Now remember, things will always change based on your actual account. You may have all of these already at Legendary, and you may not, so you can hold on to the stone. The stone is not required to use. There's no time limit, but also a lot of these, if you choose them correctly, will help boost your account quite a bit, especially things like Magnifying Slashes for POD and stuff, and for the guild boss. But now keep in mind though, the new guild boss coming out is the Ant Queen, right? So we know for a couple things about her. Number one, she has ads that you have to destroy to make her take more damage, and she will function a little bit differently. We don't know what her elemental weakness is. It might be exactly like Fakna. So if it is, then Magnifying Slashes may not be as effective on her, or maybe, who knows, right? So just keep that in mind, that everything I'm telling you is as of today. What is the date today? Today is February the 11th, okay? Now, when the actual update drops, and if things change, I will of course update you guys and let you know what to choose from there, because we have until the 19th to actually decide on something, and we're gonna have all the information we need about the upcoming patch very, very soon, on top of what the Korean live stream gave, what the Japanese live stream is gonna give, plus of course the Sharp live stream for global. We're gonna have the actual release of the update on the 13th. All right guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification button if you are a big fan of the channel. Thank you for helping me grow. We're less than 5,000 away for 100K people. Let's get that in there. Let's get it done, and hopefully we get ourselves that beautiful plaque and a 100K celebration video. Thank you so much again for joining. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.